Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of help showing you how to write each piece for your TED Talk. So using this slide is going to be super helpful because it gives you a little step-by-step what to do. So if I were to stick with my original thesis that I showed you last week about how it's important to balance priorities while being a mom, full-time teacher, and grad student, and how I do it, I'm going to start with a narration of a story that is pertinent to me, kind of sharing my experience so that others can identify and find their own the problem and kind of apply what it is I have to say. So with their narration, it's also just like your hook. So your narration, I'm going to maybe describe a busy morning, okay? And that's going to be my opening story around the issue, which again is how to balance it all, because it gets crazy, y'all. All right, so that's my message, how to balance it all. My next step is to describe the issue. So if I'm going to describe a busy morning in my narration, I'm then going to kind of break it down, be more, whoa, isn't that, sorry. I'm going to be a little bit more specific than in my description. So this is where I will maybe give more detail that is relevant to my mornings or the situation I'm in. Okay, and why that's a problem. So why it's a problem, that is where you're going to get your whys in your description. Your process analysis, it says a step-by-step process. So that is what I said my thesis was. And from last week, I just want to pull that up really quickly. It's important to balance priorities, and then I give my reasons, 1, 2, 3, and I do so by, and then basically what I'm going to be talking about, establishing routines, exercise. Oh my gosh, I can't spell it. It is like 6:54 in the morning. Wow. Work out. I'll just do that. And then being grateful. Guys, no shame. It is 6:55 and I'm recording a video. Oh my gosh. Okay. Exemplification is your example. So my example, I mean, I could, but I don't really want to. Go back into this because I feel like my audience will already know what I'm talking about or have like an understanding, because I did give them a why here, that I might want to go into maybe how I saw witnessed my own mom do the same. So maybe that could be a personal example that kind of supports my thesis. I could also, when it says compare and contrast, that's the then versus now. So my compare and contrast example, maybe I'll find some research that supports what it is I have to say with establishing routines, working out, and being grateful. I would most likely have to find 3 bits of research there in order to do that. Classification and division. This is my analysis. So if I wasn't able to, then, okay, and again, I'm not sure if you can see it really, but there's that cause and effect blocking right here. That's going to help you a lot. Maybe if you wanted to set up your TED Talk as like, here's the cause or reason for something happening, and then give like the what happened, and then explain your why maybe a little bit more towards your analysis. That would happen. And then your definition is just you explaining the new normal. So you can talk about those hardships, or I would talk about those hardships. What else would I talk about? There are things that we all have to give up and prioritize. I can spell that one, kind of. And then finally go into your conclusion, your cause and effect, saying, therefore, we all, this is when you're trying to get people on your bandwagon, all right? We all can, maybe you want to end on like a positive note and say that we all have the abilities to balance, millions of things, but give your audience hope, I guess, there. This is a very brief way of looking at outlining your TED Talk. Really, guys, all I can suggest is to get your brain going, get your things on paper. Don't take it so seriously at this point in the game. You want to make sure that you just have your pieces kind of laid out, and then you can build from there, especially on Wednesday when you're sharing it with a few partners. You're going to want something short because I'm not really giving you a lot of time to talk with people about it. But get your ideas on paper. I hope I was able to explain each piece a little bit more. Please use the resources that are there provided for you. And if you have any other questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to help you write.